Of Morning Scone, presented by Brock, the Batteries Orthopedic Clinic. Hudco Roofing, HudcoRoofing.com. ProChargeEV, ProChargeEV.com. Restored Motions, RestoredMotions.com. All right, hope you're enjoying this beautiful Sunday morning so far. Hopefully, you got your coffee in hand and are enjoying what we hope to be a beautiful day. Woke up to the unfortunate reality that we have no coffee in this house. So the only thing we have are these pre-made cold coffee frappuccino drinks, which are not very good. And I would not recommend these to anybody. And I'm really sad I don't have my coffee. So if I'm a little off today, it's because I have not yet had my coffee. But we will press on. All right, y'all. So, wow. Did y'all watch the playoff games yesterday? My goodness. San Fran had a lead, gave it up, stormed back and routed Seattle. That was a winner. Bing. Laid the 9.5 with San Fran. And then, how about the nightcap? Trevor Lawrence had yet to throw a first quarter interception in his career and threw 3 first quarter interceptions in that playoff game. Jags got down 24-0 and rallied to win it. Saints could have hired Doug Peterson, and instead they hired Dennis Allen. My goodness. Really good day of football. Also, you got games today, which should be a lot of fun, man. 3 games today. Looking forward to that. Sort of your full slate. Miami, Buffalo at noon. Giants at the Vikings at 3:30, and then Sunday Night Football is Baltimore at Cincinnati. So it should be a great day of football. I'm looking forward to it for sure. A couple other things. We'll get to your questions. You know the drill. Fire away anything you got. Like that. Smash that like button on YouTube, Facebook. Please like the page, share the post. LSU basketball got routed at Alabama yesterday. No surprise. Alabama's a great team. I mean, they're a potential Final Four team, and LSU is not. So, Alabama 106-66. They really did a number on LSU, beat them by 40, and the score is reflective of the game. It was never close. So, I believe at one point it was like halftime score was like 41-14 or something like that. Maybe it was 40. I'm sorry, it was like 41-14, 1 point in the first half, but the halftime score was 59-22. So he gave up 60 and a half. Not good. So anyway, you only had 2 players in double figures. Cam Hayes did play, gave you 10 points, and KJ Williams had 10 points and 1 rebound. That was the story of the game. For those of you who decided to, were masochists and wanted to watch it. LSU got out rebounded 52-38. Eek. So, told y'all, buckle up, man. It is going to. We've been saying this for weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks. Like, this is going to be a meat grinder in league play. It lightens up at the back end, and you'll have a chance to win some games. But not for a while. Okay. And then also have there in the description, Walker Howard visited Ole Miss. Y'all, I'm told the visit went very, very well. At this point, and I kind of want to go on the record at this point. Like, I think I would be surprised if he didn't end up at Ole Miss. I know a lot of people assume TCU right from the jump. I was told Florida was in the mix because of the relationship with Napier. Ole Miss got in there because of the relationship with Lane Kiffin. They got the first visit. I was told the visit went very, very well. And Ole Miss was trying to get him to commit before he left campus. So don't be surprised. I'm just saying, don't be surprised. I don't. As far as I know, he hasn't committed or signed or anything like that. And he's going to have to quickly, right? Because the semester is going to start in another week. But don't be surprised if it ends up being Ole Miss. And I'm not telling you anything's done. I'm just saying they got the first visit. It went really well, and there's a relationship there with Lane Kiffin. I know Jackson Dart is there, but I don't seem to think that really matters. So, file it away. Okay, let's say some good mornings here. Truax, what's up, man? David Coslin, Deborah Coward, what's going on? Good morning. Todd Harris, Peter Adams with expanded CFP. Can we all agree to abandon single season records? No. Patrick Cason, what's up? Tony Williams, Jeremy Sagely, Ryan Amanda Guidry, Samuel Merrifield. You think the Chargers fire their coach? Peyton, come on down. Absolutely. That was actually the thing I tweeted as soon as the game ended last night. It was widely assumed Brandon Staley was going to get fired if they didn't make the playoffs. Well, they get into the playoffs. There was obviously the controversy around Mike Williams, playing him in that game and getting him hurt. And then to blow a 24-point lead, that was the third largest comeback in NFL playoff history. The largest was the Bills against the Oilers, 93. In 2013, there was the Chiefs-Texans game. And then last night, 24 points, 24-point lead blown. So, yes, I would absolutely assume Brandon Staley is going to get fired and Sean Payton will become the target for the Chargers. Now, will the Chargers, who are notoriously cheap, will they pay Sean Payton? I mean, the report last week from Florio was Payton's going to get between $20 and $25 million a year. They're going to pay their coach $20 to $25 million a year? They want an offensive-minded coach and come in and take Herbert to the next level. He's your guy. But, yeah, I think so. Trey Fisher, what's good? Ryan Amanda Guidry, like you said, for basketball, A&M and Florida, we needed to win those two. You needed to win those two or one of them, and you got neither of them. And those were the attainable games. It's going to be bad. David Tolson, good morning. Dale Broussard, interesting. Howard would possibly choose to compete with Dart, but not with Nuss. But you got to keep in mind, Dale, again, I've said this, I'm going to say it again, because this is the part that I think people are missing. It's not Walker was okay to sit year one, and he didn't want a job handed to him, but he wanted the opportunity to be able to compete for it. With Daniels and Nussmeier both coming back, he would spend another year on scout team. And the concern is, if you're just running scout team, you're just running other teams' plays, throwing with walk-ons and whatnot. It's just, are you really getting better? So he wants to go somewhere that he can compete, and he could compete with Jackson Dart for the starting job. And if not, and even if he doesn't win it, he's a play away. He's getting first-team reps. It's all that sort of stuff. He's not competing with Nussmeier this year here. Patrick Case, I'm trying to decide between going to the LSU men's basketball game or the LSU lady basketball game this week. Well, one of them's going to win and one of them ain't. That's a pretty easy decision if you want to go watch the team win. Hey, buddy. You want to come say hi to Dad's show?
No, for that show.
After Dad's show, Dad's going to go to church. And we'll go to the store. And then we'll go to the mall. And then we'll go to whose house? JJ's house. All right, you want to come say hi to that show? Come say hi to that show. Are you singing happy? Oh, we're singing happy birthday to who?
Sophia.
Sophia, that's right. We're going for Sophia's birthday. Okay. Who do you see? Who do you see?
Drew.
Drew. You do see Drew. Oh, I love you. You slept so good last night. Of course, it was medicine-induced, but you still slept so good. Okay. Let's see. Michael Blanco, he doesn't fit Lane's offense, just my thought. Michael Blanco, you are dead wrong, bro. Holy moly, free holy. He's a perfect fit in that offense. It's like the same offense he ran at St. Thomas More. It's wide open spread, slinging around, and a mobile quarterback that can move. He's perfect for it, actually. Wendell Norman, Brad David, is Erica still sick? She is. So we were supposed to have our anniversary dinner last night, and we ended up not going. So she's still in bed right now. So yeah, not feeling great. Craig Schilling, good morning to the GOAT. What's going on, man? Good to see you there. Jesse Brown, Dalton Barnett, good morning. Pabler 15, morning, Matt. What do you think of the new MLB rules like the pitch clock and banning the shift? Pitch clock. Okay, hang on one second. Pitch clock, I don't know that serves a tremendous purpose. I think, but banning the shift, I'm good with. In the game of baseball, there are rules, and you have 9 defined positions in the game of baseball. And when you start moving everybody to one side of the infield, you no longer have people in those 9 positions. It's not just put 9 people on the field. You have defined positions. So I'm good with banning the shift. Trivia Carter, good morning. They should have ended the game at halftime. No mercy rule, unfortunately. Joey Metke, what's up? Jared Addison, you need a coffee sponsor, man. Jesse Brown, morning, Matt. Tough loss for LSU basketball. How about the Jags come back? Mark Allen, good morning. Update on the shoe game. So Drew and I were driving around yesterday, decided, hey, I'm going to head out to Tanger, the outlet mall, check out the Nike store. And if you haven't been, I would recommend it. They have a wall to the right side that's all like the deeply discounted, right? I mean, at an outlet mall, you're always going to get reduced prices anyway. But I walked out of there with 2 pair of Jordans for $105 total. I got some brown suede Air Force One highs that were $45. And the regular price, like the sticker on the original price, is $150. So it's kind of like I'm telling you, it's kind of. Hang on a second. Sorry, I'll hang on a second. That's just way too loud. Sorry. But yeah, the shoe stuff, I'm sensing I'm going to end up being a lot like I am with whiskey. I just can't. I'm just not going to pay secondary market prices. There's too much good stuff that I like that's way more affordable, and I'm not building a museum. I'm buying stuff. I'm buying shoes I want to wear. It's like I buy whiskey I want to drink, and it's Craig Schilling, he can go get you some coffee at your mother-in-law's house. She could, or I could DoorDash it. But man, I don't know, man. Erica's in bed and is not feeling good, man. So she was down and out yesterday. Like she didn't leave the house. I mean, I don't think she got off the couch. She basically got out of bed to go to the couch, and that was about it. Jason H, good morning. Check the drops on the Nike app. Yep, I saw that. I got the notification set for the Panda Dunks on the 17th. I check them every day. Jesse Brown, what's going on? Kyle Milliken. Matt, will you watch all the games today? Who do you think will win? Who are you rooting for? Any particular teams? Yes, I mean, of course, I'll watch them all. So my rooting interests when the Saints aren't in it are more aligned with my betting interests, put it to you that way. So I do have Miami in the points at home today. I'm sorry, on the road, excuse me. I have Miami in the points. I believe I got it at 9.5. Buffalo 14. Okay, maybe I didn't play that game. No, I did not play Miami. Check that. I took Baltimore and 9.5 at Cincinnati. I do not have a bet on the Miami game. I do not have a bet on the Miami game. So I think the Giants will beat Minnesota. I do have a bet on the Giants today, and I think they will win the game. And I have Cincinnati to win, but I do have Baltimore to cover. I like Baltimore plus the 9.5. Let's see. Alex Robaleski, whatever happened to Eric Gilbert? What is the problem? He's back in the transfer portal. He was at Georgia for, I guess, 2 seasons, and now is back in the portal. I'm so surprised that people have never figured out what's going on with Eric Gilbert. I mean, if you want me to blurt it out and say it, Eric Gilbert has a diagnosed mental health disorder. Like, he's on medicine, and anyone who knows anyone that's ever dealt with mental health, it is very, very difficult to convince someone with a mental health disorder that their mental health is poor and they need to be on medicine. And then trying to keep people on medicine is a challenge because you feel normal, and then so you stop taking your medicine. When you stop taking your medicine, I'm so surprised. I guess we're far enough removed from it now. I'll talk about it, but like, that's what happened. He was not near his family. He stopped taking his medicine. There were some episodes, and his family wanted him closer to home, rightfully so. And so that's why I went to Georgia. I have no idea what's happened at Georgia since he was there, but I'm certain it's probably more the same. That's why when you hear Kirby Smart, go listen to some of Kirby Smart's quotes when he talks about Gilbert. It's all about, we want what's best for him. We want to make sure that he's okay. Like, go with that context, go listen to some of Kirby Smart's quotes. That's why it always bothered me whenever fans would crush that kid with complete lack of knowledge. And there was some stupid story going around that he was just a pothead, which is stupid. That's why the internet sometimes drives me crazy, man. Y'all believe anything y'all read. Chemo Slice, Brad David, did the Saints interview Doug Peterson? They did. Joey B19, 1 yard to gain, and the Jags do the smart thing. Most teams don't. Let the quarterback find a hole and dive for it.
Help me.
Hey, buddy. You need help? You want to sit on Daddy's lap?
Yeah.
Okay. You can always sit on Daddy's lap. Even when you're big old grown up. Daddy will always let you sit on his lap.
And
I'll tuck you in at night. I'll carry you to bed.
Not for that.
I always give you kisses.
Not for that show.
After Dad's show, Dad's going to go to church.
And
then we go to the store.
then
And then we'll go to the mall. And then we'll go to JJ's house.
CJ.
And see JJ.
Okay.
Uncle Jeff. And sing Happy Birthday to Sophia. Okay. We will sing Happy Birthday to Sophia. I love you. I love you.
That's my.
Let's see who's over here. Ooh, missed a bunch here. Sorry. Vinay Patel, Game Coin update. I had a board meeting on Wednesday. Went exceptionally well. Platform looks really, really good. And we are still on target for a Q1 launch here in 2023. Michael Blanco, he doesn't fit lanes off. Oh, I already read that one, Michael. Yeah, I disagree with you. Very much so. Ryan Amanda Gidry, Michael Cook, good morning. Vernell Thomas, good morning. Scone and Drew, what do you think they should go? Who do you think they should go after as offensive coordinator if they fire Carmichael? Someone asked me that yesterday, and normally
Three.
So you're not it. So obviously in the NFL, it's not like college. You're not going to hire someone else's offensive coordinator away from them, right? You would have to look for somebody's quarterback coach or an up and comer that might get that opportunity, or you get someone from the college game to make the jump. So it's not like you're LSU, and so you like the offensive coordinator at Purdue, and you hire them and double their salary, right? So normally when a job like that comes open in the NFL, like I will just wait till the job comes open, then hear what names they're actually interested in, and then talk about those. I mean, like there are people I would love to have, but I don't think that they're attainable because they're already employed elsewhere in the NFL as either a head coach or a coordinator. Oh, 27-0. My bad. I said 24-0. Trey Potan, morning Scone Chargers, forced 5 turnovers, lost that game. I know. Bob Poole, good morning. Brent Duke, morning, Matt. Why are so many worried about Howard's departure? Don't we have dudes lined up for the upcoming quarterback class? Yes, Brent. The thing is, man, if you take the name plate off the jersey and you just realize that LSU's third quarterback left, it's not as big a deal. The reason it's a big deal is because Walker was a highly rated guy, and he's a legacy, and he's from Lafayette, and people have watched him and have known him for a long time, and we're excited about the future. And even though we all understand that quarterback is transient and guys don't stay. Okay, baby. The hope was that because Walker was a legacy and loved LSU, that he would stay. So anyway, I think that's a lot of the stuff with Walker. But yes, Daniels this year, Nussmeier to follow, Ricky Collins. You've got Colin Hurley committed for 2024, who looks like he's a Pied Piper in this class and is a dynamic talent already. There's a lot of reason to be optimistic about the quarterback position. Now, if Walker goes to Ole Miss, that would stink. You'd hate to have to play against him. Kelly Rose, Paul Losi, Ira Fields. Matt, what kicks are you wearing today? I don't know. Ira, haven't decided yet. Yesterday wore the all whites. I got a pair of blue Court Visions lows that had they're navy with the navy swoosh outline trimmed in white. I may wear those today. Haven't given those a run yet. Maybe I'll wear those to church today. Chris Keller, morning Scone, and real host of the show, Drew. Sad news about the offensive lineman from Georgia. So, man, I just saw that headline. I don't know if y'all saw this. There was an offensive lineman, Devin Willock, and a recruiting staffer were killed in a car wreck Sunday morning. Willock was a sophomore, redshirt sophomore, started 2 games this past year, and the recruiting staff member was Chandler LaCroix. 2 other members of the football program were injured in the accident, both in stable condition. Single vehicle accident at 2:45 a.m. Left the road, struck 2 power poles and several trees. Ugh. Man. Chris Keller, today is my son Jace's 9th birthday. All right, happy birthday, Jace. Have a great 9th, man. Enjoy it. Getting big, man, getting big. RJ Blank, Cliff Kingsbury. Sure, I mean, that would fit the mold if he doesn't go back to college. Dane Bergeron, good morning. Let's see. Mark Allen, good morning. Smash button like. Thank you. Well, actually, you smashed the like button. But anyway, yes. So thank you. 132 watching there on YouTube. If you would please smash that like button. Subscribe up to the YouTube channel if you haven't done so yet. Facebook, please like the Matt Moscona page and share the post. We appreciate y'all. Chris Nelson, good morning, Matt. Still think San Diego's coach is safe? No, I don't think he's safe at all. I think he's going to get fired, and I think they're going to try to hire Sean Payton. Absolutely. And I think that's the odds-on favorite. That Sean Payton has said kind of wanted to be coastal. He lives in LA right now with his wife. They want to stay in LA. He would also have a great young quarterback there in Justin Herbert. That, yes, I mean, if you're the Chargers, wouldn't you want to pair Sean Payton with your young franchise quarterback? Give him an offensive-minded coach that can help grow and develop. I mean, that makes too much sense. The only question is, what assets are they willing to give up, and are they willing to pay Sean Payton? Florio said last week, 20 to 25 million will be the salary, the annual salary for Payton. Chargers are notoriously cheap. Will they pay it? We'll see. Jason H. I've not been able to track down the NOLA Air Force Ones under $250. That's crazy. Still looking for a retail price for those size 13s. I appreciate it, Jason. Thank you, man. If you see them, let me know, man. One Nardi, good morning. Shane Mac, good morning. Let the Sean Payton sweepstakes catch fire. Yeah, man. And I know a lot of people have opined, it may happen with Dallas as well. If Dallas loses, I'm not so sure that I believe that one. I wouldn't put it past Jera to blow up Mike McCarthy if they lose a playoff game, but we'll see. Brad David, does it bother you more when people misspell Peyton or Maneri? And excellent job with both, Brad. Probably Peyton, because Peyton's easy. Maneri's tough. There's a lot of vowels in there. I can empathize with Maneri. People have misspelled my name forever. Just there's a lot of vowels. Dalton Barnett, Wendell Norman, Shane Mack, Jason H. Von Bluesman, good morning. Carly Cat, what's going on? Yeah, unveiling of the Simone Augustus statue today. It better be her just raising up from the elbow. That better be. I can't imagine it's anything else other than her just raising up at the elbow. How many times do we see that? Boom. Automatic, dude. She was so awesome. Jordan Haddad, only 364 more days till next year's hockey tryouts. Dynamite. Happy Gilmore reference. Brandon Reese, I'm ready for baseball season at this point. Jason H, hope E-Rock feels better. Thank you, man. Merrick Mathern, do the 49ers go with Brock Purdy or Trey Lance next season? That's a great question. And someone asked me, so last night, Erica was sick. And she was just asleep on the couch all day and night. And so we were supposed to go to dinner last night. We didn't. So I was just home by myself. I had a pour of whiskey, watching the game. First half was a blowout. So I just put on Twitter, I'm like, yo, let's just ask me questions. I don't care. Let's talk, whatever. And someone asked that, should the Niners trade Trey Lance? I said, no, there's no reason for them to trade Trey Lance. This may be a small sample size for Brock Purdy. We've seen that before. Well, it is a small sample size, but it may not be replicable once teams have more film on him and game plan against him. Now, maybe he'll be great, but we saw RG3, Vince Young, both win Offensive Rookie of the Year, and neither of their careers panned out. Nick Foles won a Super Bowl in Philadelphia. That was certainly the height of his career. Maybe Brock Purdy will be awesome. Maybe he won't. But you have him on a rookie contract for a 7th-round pick. So, for example, Brock Purdy's contract. I know this is the thing we talk about a lot here, and this is confusing or dumb to some people, or not interesting. I shouldn't say dumb, just not interesting. But matters tremendously because this is why you keep him. So, Brock Purdy's contract. Brock Purdy signed a 4-year, as the 7th-round pick, signed a 4-year, $3.7 million contract. So they have him under contract for 4 years at $3.7 million. Remember, with Trey Lance, he sat last year, was going to be the starter this year, was the starter, then he got hurt. So next year is year 3. As a first-round pick, they have a 5th-year option on him. So they could go next year with Brock Purdy counting. Brock Purdy's cap hit next year is $889K. He's free, basically. He's free. So there's no reason. It costs you, if you're the Niners, nothing. The certainty is Jimmy Garoppolo won't be back. So, but it costs you nothing to have Purdy and Lance. Now, my assumption is you'll go into next season and Lance will be your starter. And if he falters, you go to Purdy. And if Purdy wins, then after next season, you try to trade Trey Lance. Let's see. D. Murder Draft, that's how I feel about vinyl. I don't like paying 40 plus for a record. Oh, got it. So you collect vinyl records. Cool. I mean, my parents, I wonder what happened to those. My parents had a giant box of vinyls. I went through this kick. Oh man, it was after college, but I went through this kick where like found an old record player in the attic, and I wanted to get vinyls, right? And then they had a big box of them, man. My dad had some like the Eagles, and my mom had some stuff like the Monkees, and it was all stuff I guess from the '70s. Richard Horner, does Staley get fired tomorrow? Maybe today. Brandon Reese, the Saints need to move on from Carmichael. I completely agree. The interesting thing about it too is there were Pete Carmichael was the primary play caller for 3 seasons in New Orleans. There was the bounty year, and then 2 other seasons where he was the primary play caller. And in all those seasons, the Saints finished top 6 in the NFL total offense. So it's not like he had never called plays and didn't know what he was doing, but it is really surprising how bad he was this year. And I guess it goes to show you that, Sean Payton, even when Carmichael was the primary play caller, was always there as a buffer, It's funny. Brad just asked me, does it bother me people misspell Peyton or Maneri? And then Jordan had misspelled Peyton. So Sean Payton is Payton. Peyton Manning is Peyton. Bo Jax, what's going on? Migo Tez. Could he not have passed up Nuss for the backup role? Migo Tez, I don't believe so. I mean, when you listen to Brian Kelly, and I even clipped this and put it on my TikTok and my Instagram. Follow me there, by the way, at Matt Scone, if you would. Brian Kelly, after the bowl game, said he 100% believed all 3 quarterbacks were going to be there, but he talked about Jaden and Nuss and playing, competing, and yada, yada, and he goes, oh, and also Walker. It was like an afterthought. I mean, they felt they had clear separation. I mean, last year in fall camp, I mean, Daniels and Nussmeier were in a legit quarterback battle right up until the end where they were splitting reps, man. I remember we didn't learn that Jaden was starting until Brian Kelly was on the field doing his pregame interview against Florida State. So, anyway. Brandon Reese, Peyton wants the Chargers job. They have the best quarterback of the other teams mentioned. So I think it's a big part of it. Richard Horner, I have a hard time thinking someone who is up-and-coming OC would come here for what could be a year if it does not go well. See, Richard, the thing that I would tell you is the counter argument that you're probably not considering is there. If you want to be an OC or a head coach in the NFL, there's only 32 of those jobs, and so if you have an opportunity to get one, unless if you're someone who is established like Sean Payton and you can be very selective because there's a large market for you, generally you take the opportunity if you get it, right? Chance Babb in Kingsbury took a one-way flight to Thailand, said he's not coaching in 2023. I don't, and honestly, I see a lot of y'all putting Kingsbury's name in there. I'm not so sure that I would want Cliff Kingsbury. I mean, his offenses were atrocious this year. And that was before Kyler Murray got hurt. I don't know that he's the guy. Jordan Haddad sent us Fehoko too. Yeah, how about that was, I'll tell you what, that was one pretty cool thing last night. Braden Fehoko, man, went from undrafted to, practice squad to earning a roster spot to starting a playoff game for the Chargers. I mean, what a great story, dude. Maybe I'll call him tomorrow. Leon Williams, Rob Boudreaux, smash the like button. Yeah, as always, shout out to Brock as well, the Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic. Of course, it is a Sunday. Brock always open the after hours clinic. Holiday. This big enterprise truck was pulling my driveway. They're just backing up into that side street. What, buddy? You want to sit on Daddy's lap? What? Okay, come see. I got you. Let me get my hands on you. I got my hands on you. Huh? What? Oh, you put your arm around my neck. You never do that. Tomorrow's Monday, huh?
On Monday.
Well, Monday, you don't have school on Monday. So Monday, you're going to play with Mommy all day.
Oh, where you going?
And then on Tuesday, you'll go for a ride in Daddy's car to the
News.
New St. Lillian. Huh. I love you.
And
And we will see Miss
Cindy.
Cindy. Miss
Chanel.
Chanel.
Skylar. Molly. Jordan.
Jordan. Emma Grace.
Michelle. Good.
Miss
Diane.
Who comes to pick you up?
Mimi.
And where does Mimi take you on Tuesdays? Oh, you know what else? So Drew loves watching videos en Espanol. And so Drew has learned to count to 10 in Spanish. You want to count to 10 in Spanish? Let's do it. Uno. Dos. Tres. Cuatro. Cinco. Seis. Siete. Ocho. Nueve. Diez. Yay! Good job! My little bilingual kid. He loves watching videos in Spanish. He learned to count to 10 in Spanish. He's so proud of himself. He's running there smiling so big. Anyway. Let's see. Let's see. Chris Keller also saw something earlier. Atlanta is looking at a Saints coach. Any truth to that? I don't know who, Chris, but that wouldn't surprise me. Remember that Terry Fontenot is the Falcons GM, and Terry Fontenot was an executive with the Saints before he got hired by the Falcons. So there's a lot of familiarity, obviously, with the organization and with the coaching staff. So that wouldn't surprise me at all. Brandon Reese, it would be interesting to see Herbert and Sean Payton's offense and in the AFC. So, see ya. Good. Saints wouldn't have to worry about it. Richard, $25 million. That's a lot of money for a coach. Yeah, it is. But they were saying that's what Florio's report was, between 20 and 25 million. That's what it was going to take to get Payton. Austin Kidder, good morning, Matt. I was excited about the father-son Howard legacy too. Losing Walker is a small price to pay for getting Jay Daniels back one more year. Yeah, and the other part of it too, Austin, is think about how many people want Nussmeier to be the starter now. So, like, yeah, I mean, your best option in 23 is Daniels. And then so many people are so high on Nussmeier, and he would presumably then be your best option in 24 and possibly 25 as well. So what are you talking, 25, 26 until you got to Walker Howard? And how much could have happened before then? You know, I mean, look, things could always happen and guys could leave and transfer, and I get it. But you have to live in the now. And the transfer portal, you know, is a two-way street. It allows opportunities for the players, which is great. But it also allows coaches to use that as a tool to build a roster. DA, Matt, I agreed when you said that Coach Johnson should put Tommy at first and Trey in left field. Trey could show how athletic he really is. Haven't seen a change yet. You think he should. Jay has talked about that Trey will play some in left field. He's also going to play first base. But the other part is, and I mean, I'll tell you, we talked to Jay Johnson about this. They just weren't sure if Tommy White could be their everyday third baseman defensively, but they feel really good about it now. So I don't think he's going to be a plus defender or anything like that, but Tommy White can play first or play third. I think Trey Morgan's going to be your primary first baseman and will play in the outfield. But the other thing too is, um, uh, uh, so for what this is worth, again, there's a long way to go still before the season starts. They'll have to go through, the preseason and intra squads and all that sort of stuff. But I believe, I'm sorry, look for Paxton Kling, likely to be your starter in right field. And I think Josh Pearson moves from right to left. So, like, if I had to guess today, if they had to go play a game today, right, the way they would line it up, Skeens will be at the front of the rotation. Brady Neal's going to catch. Morgan at first. Second is going to be interesting because I think it's going to be a bit of a revolving door where they're going to get a lot of guys work. They'd probably go Jack Merrifield, but look for Ben Napolt as well. He's a transfer in from, I think, VCU, but they like him a lot. Let me see. I'm pretty sure he came in from VCU. Let me make sure I got that right. Yeah, VCU. Okay. So, Jack Merrifield, Ben Napolt at second. Tommy White at third, of course, Jordan Thompson at short, and all accounts are Jordan Thompson has looked awesome. So, no, he had early in the season last year, he had an issue with errors. He apparently has looked awesome. So, and then I think you'll have Pearson in left, Cruz in center, Paxton Kling in right. I think that would be, if they had to do it today, that's how they would line it up. Again, that can change. But I think that's how it would go. Chris Keller thought it was Neil. Oh, Ryan Nielsen, maybe so. Leon Williams, Jacksonville is lucky to win. DC refused to get on his own coverage. I struggle to say someone's. Craig Schilling, people spell Matt's name wrong, including Jacques. That's true. Jacques Doucet. And Jacques should be able to empathize, right? With a name like Jacques Doucet. But anyway, I'd struggle to say someone's lucky. I mean, you still have to go make plays. You still have to throw and catch it and run and block. I would say there was more good fortune on the Chargers side getting all of the turnovers. And yeah, just a gag job for the ages by the Chargers. LSU Sports Fanatic, good morning, Brandon Reese. What quarterback should the Saints try to go get in free agency? I think they'll probably sign Derek Carr. If the price is right, I think they'll sign Derek Carr, and I think they'll draft a quarterback. Craig, I'm glad you got it. Free! He's free! If he sucks, cut him. But seriously, Brock Purdy's essentially free. That's what Craig is referencing there is a reference to Charles Handegriff on draft night during the COVID year when Josh Rosen was a free agent, and yours truly was saying, I think the Saints are going to sign Jameis Winston, and Hanny was advocating for Josh Rosen. Okay. All right. Let's see. Basketball team lost by 40. Yet they're not. I mean, yo, listen. I want to say this, and I know I'm going to be repetitive, and I apologize for that, but I want to keep saying it. I believe Matt McMahon is going to win and win big at LSU. He has all the right makeup. He is a smart guy. He is a smart coach. He can recruit, and he is going to win. He is going to win here. But you've got to acknowledge the circumstance that he inherited, where all 13 scholarship players left within 2 weeks of him being hired. He had no players on the team. So he had to build out a roster, sort of mixing and matching with this hodgepodge, and had to put together a schedule that they could try to put together some wins and learn about themselves and gain some confidence. And so they did that. They won a bunch of games against quad 4 opponents, like really bad teams. And some of them were really close games, which should have been a telltale. Like, he's going to win here. It's just not going to be this year. And that's okay. Devin Kelly, I missed one of the greatest comebacks in NFL playoff history because Dish is arguing with NBC about money. You know what, Devin? So my brother-in-law, same thing. And it's made him switch to YouTube TV. Now I'll tell you what happened. He got YouTube TV because we're all going over to his house tonight, and the Bengals and Ravens are going to be on. So he had to get the game, right? So, so he went and got YouTube TV and then called DirecTV and was like, basically complained, said, I'm leaving if you don't have NBC. And so they paid for his YouTube TV. They basically gave him a $60 discount off his monthly off of his bill. So maybe something worth trying, Devin. Like, get YouTube TV and then call a company and be like, hey, I'm leaving if you don't get this fixed, and see if they give you a discount. Or just leave, just do YouTube TV. I wonder how many people misspell Taysom. Taysom, by the way. Brandon Reese, I think Kingsbury wants to go back to college ranks. I don't know, man. Everybody doesn't love the recruiting part of it, man. I think that's why he left to begin with. Russell Doloff, good morning from Shreveport. Chance Babin, what's going on? I heard the Drew counting in Spanish. Yeah. Alex Barnes, Matt, my wife had an appointment at Brock coming up. I told her to mention your name. She'll get the best seat in the house. Excellent. Well, I hope, Alex, it's never a great thing if you got to go to Brock, right? I mean, you got something going on. So first of all, I hope she's okay. But they are the best, man. I mean, Brock is just, team docs for LSU and great people. Chip Bankston did my knee. They're awesome people, man. Bruce Feldman reporting they're looking at Nielsen. I mean, it makes sense. Co-DC, could be a DC over there. It makes sense. Brian Turner, I know the Chargers. I don't know how the Chargers as a franchise move past this, past a loss this bad. I mean, look, Brian. I mean, the Saints lost on the Minneapolis Miracle, right? And the next year they were the 1 seed hosting the NFC Championship game, and then got hosed in that one. But you just move on, You face adversity. Brandon Reese, I'm not saying it would happen, but if A&M was to have another lackluster season next year, do you see them moving on from Fisher? I don't know if they get in trying to get Kingsbury. I don't think they're trying to get Kingsbury, but would they move on from Jimbo? Absolutely. If they have another set, brother, I'm telling you, he almost didn't survive this year. Let them have another 7-5 type year next year. Yeah, I think he's gone. Yes, I do. Brandon Reese, Chargers would be stupid not to try to get Sean Payton. Oh, they'll be in the mix. Kingsbury was at A&M with Sumlin when they had Johnny Manziel. Kevin Sumlin called the plays. And Johnny Manziel was different, And I think Kingsbury might have only been there for a year. Hang on, let me see. I think he was only there for like a year. Let's see, how long was he there? he was only at A&M for a year in 2012, and then after that he went to he was at Houston as co-OC and quarterbacks coach in 10 and 11. 2012 he was the OC at A&M the year with Johnny, and then in 13 he got hired as the head coach at Texas Tech, and he was there from 13 to 18, and then he got hired by the Cardinals in 19. So 4 years with the Cardinals. Merrick, has NCAA announced the punishment for men's basketball team? They have not. I was actually asked about that yesterday. Oddly enough, because y'all may laugh at this. So Ole Miss is having a very rough basketball season, and they are very likely going to fire Kermit Davis. And there are some people in those circles in Oxford that want to hire Will Wade. And my reaction to that was, yeah, there's no shot, because the NCAA is most certainly going to give Will Wade a show cause. And I think it's going to be a heavy one too. So he's not going to coach college basketball for a long time. Devin, that's a lot of unfamiliar names for LSU baseball. Yeah, man. I mean, they went and signed the #1 transfer class and #1 high school class in the country. I mean, they went and basically went from a roster that traveled for a regional to a roster that is, that is the best roster in college baseball. So, anyway. Let's see. Dalton, Matt, be honest, Jimbo and Bobby Petrino probably sleeping in bunk beds together. Drunk Annie was awesome that night. Let's see, a couple more. We're almost done here. Let's see, Devin. Does YouTube TV have all the local? Yes, yeah, you can get all the local channels, yeah. Russell Doloff, have we been without Fox for 5 months? Oh, we've been without Fox for 5 months. That's crazy. That's just crazy. Chris McCann, morning, Matt. Do you think the Olivia Dunn circus at meets is becoming a distraction for the gymnastics team? I don't know. I think they did absolutely the right thing and taking precautions and beefing up security and things like that. But I think if you compete at that level, how is that different than, I guess the example we gave the other day was Joe Burrow, right? I mean, that was like that in 2019 here with Joe Burrow. A lot of people may not know it, but, he needed security detail to get around, and as he just didn't talk about it much, but that was part of it. So, where are we? Matt, from a historical standpoint in your lifetime, which MLB franchise would you compare LSU baseball to? I see fans say the Yankees. You're talking about, so when you think about LSU baseball, that program is by far the biggest brand in college baseball. And that's not to be dismissive of places that have had great history, like Texas and Southern Cal, Mississippi State. But LSU became such a fixture in Omaha when they won 5 and 10 years. And their teams played, when they were playing the Gorilla ball, they garnered headlines because of that as well. And then when you look at the fact that LSU has led the nation in attendance for a quarter century, even when you don't win, and LSU's had patches where they don't win, you're still relevant. And I think that's kind of the comp, like with the Yankees. Like, sometimes you can look at like the opposing crowd, right? Like, if Cleveland is playing on a Tuesday night in Kansas City, probably not selling that thing out, right? If the Yankees are coming in on a Tuesday night in Kansas City, it's packed, right? So that's why the comp works. Look, it's not apples to apples, obviously. You're talking about pro ball and college ball, but as far as brand awareness within the sport, yeah, that's. I mean, LSU baseball is as big a brand as there is in college baseball. Austin Kidder, let's see. I work at Cox, Matt. It's more expensive than DirecTV and YouTube, but you get all the local channels, better customer support because you'll talk to people like yours truly. All right, Austin. I'm not gonna lie to you. We have Cox and have for a long time, and I've been pushing Erica forever to cut the cord. I mean, just not worth it anymore. I mean, all we do is stream, watch sports, and we stream, stuff for Drew or whatever. So, Chris McCann pretty much an Omaha or bust season for baseball, it would seem. Chris, listen. Again, I've said that you're going to hear me say this a million times. LSU baseball this year is Tennessee from a year ago. And I know because it's a lot of new names that may sound like a stretch, but I'm telling you, LSU baseball this year is the most talented team in college baseball. Most talented. Like, Dylan Cruz is going to be the potential first player taken in the draft. He'll certainly be the first college position player taken. Paul Skeens will likely be the first college pitcher taken in the draft. You only got him for 1 year. He is a top 5 guy. He's gone. He's going to be your Friday night guy. He's going to be your ace. If Thatcher Hurd was the ace at UCLA, he's probably going to be your number 3. You've got double-digit dudes that are throwing upper 90s right now. Guys, Garrett Edwards from Pitkin, guy with sort of the whip-like delivery. Like, Garrett Edwards was touching 99 in the fall. Wes Johnson came in and has rapidly advanced the pitching staff that was here. And then on top of that, you added Hurd and Skeens and Little. It's just kind of silly, the talent that they're going to have on this team. So they're going to hit, they're going to pitch. I think they'll find roles within the roster for guys, or within the pitching staff for guys that they'll have to work out. But even sorry. A guy like Grant Taylor, who, was part of your rotation at the end of the year last year. Grant Taylor's throwing 100 miles an hour, y'all. He's probably going to end up being your closer to start the season. Because you're going to be able to say, hey, go get me 6 outs and throw 100, Anyway, they're going to be really, really good. Really good. Jared DeLucky, what's going on, man? Thanks for recommendation 1792. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Saw Jerry on Wednesday over at Scone and Tea at Rock Paper Taco. Gave him a whiskey recommendation. 1792 bottled in bond. Very, very, very good pour. Found that one a year ago. Let's see. Jordan Haddad, Jonathan Martin. Yeah, prayers to the Georgia football team. Saw that story. We talked about it a bit ago. For those that didn't hear, it was a Georgia football player and a staffer that were killed in a car wreck at like 2:30 in the morning. Left a single car accident, left the road, hit a utility pole and some trees. 2 other people were injured in the accident. Just terrible, man. Zachary Snyder, good morning. You think the box will see upgrades? Yeah, they have been discussing that and what upgrades to come. They know they need to. the new box, it's 13 years old, man. It opened in '09, or 14 years now. But they know they know that there's upgrades and amenities that have to come. They're looking at all different types of possibilities. Moving the bullpens off the field. Um, maybe some type of like berm area. Um, but yeah, they're aware that it needs a little bit of a facelift, sort of a keeping up with the Joneses type thing, and they're going to get it done. Devin Kelly, where did Skeens come from? So he came from Air Force. So actually, if you go, we talked with Jay. I've referenced this several times with the Rosters to Riches podcast we did with Jay. He told the Paul Skeens story. So Skeens was at Air Force, and when Jay was at Arizona, this would have been during the COVID year. They kind of rapidly put a game together when people were trying to get games or rosters or whatever. But and of course, the College World Series was canceled that year, but they played that year. And no, forgive me, it would have been the year after the COVID year, so 2021. And so Jay was playing. They were playing Air Force, and he tells a story like he's going to talk to the Air Force coach, who he's known for a long time, and he's like, yeah, well, I got this kid. And he goes, let me guess, Paul Skeens, right? Because he knew about him because he had scouted him and stuff like that. He goes, yeah, he's not going to finish here. He's like, basically, the Air Force coach said, I can't let him get to his third year here, because if you're there for 3 years, as he explained it, then you are locked into your service commitment. So what the Air Force coach was saying was, he'll be here for 2 years, and then he's going to have a decision to make. We actually talked to Paul whenever he committed to LSU, but I need to go back and re-listen to that. But basically, he would have had a decision to make to stay at Air Force and go through his commitment to his service, or leave after year 2 because he's going to be a first-round pick, which obviously he's going to be. So, Skeens is a guy that is going to be a high. I mean, he could be the first college pitcher taken. And had he stayed at Air Force, he wouldn't have been able to go into the draft. So that's why he left Air Force after 2 years. So now he'll pitch 1 year at LSU, and then he'll be drafted. So that's why he left there, and it's LSU's benefit for a season. Chris McCann, and he can hit too, by the way. Like he's a two-way guy. he can mash the baseball too. Trust Jay Johnson a hell of a lot more with the most talented team in baseball than Tony Vitello buffoon, that's for sure. Yeah, Tony Vitello is just not a very likable guy at all. The reason people are lined up around the corner to see Olivia Dunn is because she has a higher exit velocity than Dylan Cruz. Cruz, by the way, is not Cruze. The guy's gonna be the first pick in the draft. Let's spell Dylan Cruz correctly, please. It's Crews. We can do it. Scott said, cut cable 2 years ago. Haven't missed a game I wanted to watch with YouTube TV. Jordan Haddad, do you have an NHL team, Matt? I do not, Jordan. When I was a kid and when Mighty Ducks came out, everyone kind of got into hockey, and we played a lot of street hockey, but I can't tell you I ever had a team or anything like that. Probably watched the Anaheim Mighty Ducks, when they first became a franchise because of the movie, but no. Devin Kelly, how do we all of a sudden have so many guys throwing upper 90s? Is the pitching coach that much better? Well, some of them were transfers, right? Like Thatcher Hurd, Christian Little, Paul Skeens. That's 3 right there. And then you had guys that were throwing mid-90s, and they went through a throwing program and added velo. It happens. Need to get season tickets for me and the kiddos. Yeah, man, I'm curious if, I don't know if LSU baseball sells out of season tickets, or if they just keep a certain amount of GA, general admissions, or, whatever in the outfit. I don't know. But Devin, this would be a season to do it, man. This would be a season to do it. Zachary Snyder, with that being said, would your top 5 baseball venues be? What would your top 5 venues be? Um, I mean, I would say the box because of the fans, right? But if you're just looking at like amenities, I mean, all of these SEC schools have built new stadiums. Like, Dudy Noble at Starkville is the showplace now. I mean, it's the one. Um, Bluebell at Texas A&M. Um, uh, kind of Alabama just did a total gut renovation of their park. Florida built a new park. Kentucky built a new park. I mean, all these places have brand new parks. Um, Arkansas did like a $20 million renovation of their stadium. I mean, they're all better. They're all better than the box right now. But if you're just talking about atmosphere and stuff, I mean, um, when LSU's playing meaningful games, there's nothing like the box. But just the physical venue itself. I mean, the box has dropped to like middle of the pack in the SEC. Chance Babb and Paul Skeens could end up being the David Robinson or Roger Staubach of baseball. Correct me if I'm wrong, though, Chance. Like Robinson and Staubach each served. They each made good on their commitment and then went into their professional sports. Skeens isn't going to do that. Skeens is going to go like he's left Air Force, obviously, and so he's going to pitch at LSU. I don't know if you just mean maybe like as a guy who came from an academy who became a great player. If that's what you mean, then sure. Brandon Reese, besides Tiger Stadium, which other SC football stadium did you dislike? I mean, it's never good to be a visitor in any of them. As far as atmosphere, though, Sanford Stadium in Athens, Auburn, I would say are the best atmospheres. The absolute worst was playing at War Memorial in Little Rock. It's a glorified high school stadium. You park on a golf course. There's no way that a major college football game should be held at that venue. I'm glad they've moved the Arkansas games from there. It's atrocious. Devin, how's a pitcher that good end up at Air Force? Did he develop into that? He wanted to be a pilot. Go, Devin, if you get a shot, just Google Paul Skeens AFR. Let me see if I can. It's Skenes. See if I can find the link to it. Because we had him on the show whenever I'm gonna have to go find it. We had Skeens. We did. And I'm thinking of it. We had Skeens on the show. So it was July. He committed July 29th. I'd have to go find it. We had Paul Skeens on AFR. Let me check one more thing. Load. Okay, we had Paul Skeens on July 29th. So if you go back and find AFR July 29th, we had him on at 3:15 Central. So it was the second segment of the show on July 29th. So if you want to go back and find it, you can go back and find it and listen to that episode with Skeens. And he kind of tells his story. It was great. Really enjoyed it. Hey. Huh. Let's see, Bregman just hit me up. Baton Rouge Rouse's, February 10th and 11th, live show from the parking lot tailgate. We're launching the barbecue at Rouse's that weekend. February 10th, 11th. Okay. That'd be awesome. Okay. No, Merrick, I'm not name dropping. I was more explaining why I was taking a second to send that message. I figured y'all would like that. Y'all come out. So there, breaking news on Morning Scone. Bregman is launching his barbecue sauce February 10th and 11th at Rouse's. There, you heard it first. Let's see, Mark, how did ATN, running back for the Jaguars from Lafayette, not go to LSU? That was the signing class when LSU signed John Emery. So LSU signed, right? There was, ETN was 2019? No, it wasn't. Travis Etienne was the 2018 class. 2017. Who was the player they went after hard? Was it Zach Evans? I think it was Zach Evans. So they went hard. They had Clyde signed in that class. No, Evans was class of 2020. Who was the other? Now I'm fascinated. But someone, if you know who it was, so this is what happened. They were going hard after a national guy, and after a national guy at running back, I'm trying to see who it would have been now. And they missed on him, and then tried to circle back to Etienne, who was from Jennings, and he was like, "No, I'm good. I'll go to Clemson." Nope. All right. Who was it? Cam Akers. That's who it was. Cam Akers. There it is. They were all, that's what it was, Mark. They were all in on Cam Akers, and they thought they were going to get him. And Akers ended up picking Florida State, and so LSU got in late on Etienne, and he was like, "No, I'm good. I'll go to Clemson." That's what happened. Yep, Raymond said it was Cam Akers. Yep. Zachary Snyder finally got a chance to go back and listen to Jay Johnson on Rosters to Riches. Learned a good bit. Skeens will be Matt's new trigger word. And Bubba, you just misspelled Skeens, by the way. It's Skenes. Yes, it will be for sure. I want everybody's name now to be Smith and Jones. Davis. I don't know if you've been there when OU and Texas come to the SEC. Will you travel to their places? Oh, absolutely. I've been to UT. I have not been to Norman. But yeah, no, I would love to. Absolutely will. Let's see. All right, two more, then I got to go. Jordan had that. It worked out for LSU. Delpit and Queen ate Etienne's lunch in the big one. Yeah, and look, and the other thing that worked out is that Clyde worked out, right? So you had Brissett in 2018. And then Clyde had the year he did in 2019. So yes, it worked out. But that was one that stung, man. Where, you know, early in his time, you know, Ed, especially with the reputation as being a great recruiter, there were some things they mishandled, mismanaged in the 2018 and 2017, 2018 classes. All right. Yeah, right. Mark said last name Smith and Jones. Yeah, me too. He's Cvitanovic. And Mark, I'm guessing the C is silent. So that's why I just say Vitanovich or Vitanovic. I don't know how you say it, but Mark Vitanovic. Okay, I think we're done. Appreciate y'all for being here. As always, YouTube, please smash that like button. Facebook, like the page, share the post. As always, brought to you by Brock. HUDCO, if you need a roof, HUDCO's pinned in the chat. We'd love the opportunity to give you a free, no obligation roofing inspection. Restored Motions, if you have pain, book a session with Crystal Poche. And of course, ProCharge EV, ProChargeEV.com. If you drive an EV, well, you need a charger at your home. So let ProCharge install one. If you know someone who drives an EV, they need a charger. Or if you have a business, state of Louisiana is putting out grants and all kind of stuff, federal grants for charging stations. Put a charging station in the parking lot of your business. ProChargeEV.com. Okay, y'all have an awesome day. Enjoy the football, and we'll see you.